Chapter 28. Prove it! Prove it! Their long, bumpy tongues flicked at me as they chanted. Prove you're one of us and change now. Let us see you change like us. I swallowed hard. They were chanting for me to change. Staring and waiting. They'd have to wait a long, long time. Change! 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 They were about to learn the truth about me. I decided I had to confess and beg them for mercy. Guys, I started. But then a girl's shout rose over the chanting of the creeps. Stop at once, she cried. We all turned to see Iris coming, running up from behind a tall evergreen. The 4 creeps uttered grunts of surprise, and their eyes rolled wildly in their purple wizard heads. I am the commander's second in command, Iris declared, her long earrings jangling wildly. I am his sergeant. The creeps pulled their long, bumpy tongues into their snouts. They stared at Iris, suddenly silent. The commander and I do not choose to transform now, Iris told them sternly. We do not have time. We must bake the cookies now. We must prepare the seeds for the bake sale. Yay! The creeps cheered Iris. Thank you, Sergeant, Brenda said. I am glad you like my plan. Your plan will work, Iris replied. We will turn the whole school into creeps like us. Quickly, let us hurry to my house and bake these cookies. The 4 lizard creatures offered up another cheer, and they slapped tongues. Then they quickly began to change back into kids. The purple on their skin faded, and the quivering bumps slid into their skin. Their snouts shrunk away from their faces, twisting back into the faces of the kids that I knew. As they changed back, I leaned close to Iris and whispered in her ear, Iris, you're really one of them? Yes, Commander, she replied, keeping her eyes on the 4 creeps. Do not worry. This new plan will not fail. I opened my mouth to say something, but no sound came out. I couldn't believe it. Iris? A creep? We began making our way through the woods, and Iris led the way to her house. The afternoon sun was sinking behind the bare trees. The air suddenly felt cold and heavy. I couldn't stop the chills and rolled down my back. I had a close call in the woods. Iris had saved me, but I knew my troubles weren't over. I was in terrible danger. So were all the kids at school. We stepped into Iris's kitchen, and why did Iris save me? I wondered. She knows I'm not one of them. She knows I'm not a creep. So why did she rescue me from the other 4 creeps? As the 4 of them took out flour and eggs and other ingredients, I pulled Iris aside. You know I'm not a creep, I whispered. Why did you rescue me? I'm not a creep either, she whispered back. But I saw you were in big trouble. Well, how did you know? I started. I glanced back into the kitchen to make sure the creeps weren't watching us. You were supposed to meet me on the playground, remember? Iris whispered. I saw them drag you into the woods, and I followed you, and I heard everything. I saw everything, too. Well, thanks for saving me, I replied. But now you're in danger, too. She nodded. I know, but I had to save you, didn't I? How are we going to save the rest of the school? I whispered. Good question, Iris replied. We have to bake the cookies now. We don't have a choice. When we get to the bake sale, we'll have to figure out a way to keep kids from eating them. Oh, yeah, sure. I rolled my eyes. How would we keep the kids from gobbling up free cookies? How? Chapter 29. On Saturday morning, Iris and I and the 4 creeps carried our big trays of cookies into the gym. What a crowd! Every kid in school was there. They were running back and forth carrying trays of baked goods on the tables, talking and laughing and kidding around. A podium with a microphone had been set up under the basket at one end of the gym, and the long rows of tables stretched from one hall to the other. As Iris and I walked to the tables, the 4 creeps stayed close at our sides, protecting the cookies and watching our every move. The cookies with the identity seeds inside were piled high on the 2 trays. We had baked hundreds of them, more than enough for every kid in the school. We passed by a group of kids gobbling down brownies at the nearby table. Miss Williamson, our teacher, was busy cutting slices in a cheesecake. I saw dozens of plates of cookies spread over the tables. Signs were posted giving the prices. Just about everything cost $1. Nothing was free. Our cookies were the only free items. How could I stop kids from taking them? How could I make sure that no one ate them? We headed to the tables, but Ward stepped in front of us. Start giving them out now, he urged. Yes, there's no reason to wait, Brenda agreed. Let's pass out the cookies. The gym is totally jammed with kids. In a few minutes, we'll have dozens of new creeps. Wart grabbed for the new trays, and David and Jared pulled the plastic wrapping off the cookies. I've got to act. Now! I knew, but what could I do? As Wart lifted the cookie tray from my hands, I had an idea. I dodged past him and swung my way around the group of chocolate cake eaters, leaping to the podium where Tasha was about to make a welcoming speech, and I grabbed the microphone. Attention! Attention, everyone, I screamed. A loud squeal from the speakers got everyone's attention. My panicky voice echoed off the high gym walls. Don't eat the free cookies, I shouted. Please, listen to me, everyone. Don't eat the free cookies. You will become monsters. Bumps will grow all over you, and you'll look like purple lizard creatures. And you'll eat squirrels whole. Everyone laughed, and laughter drowned out my desperate words. You've got to believe me, I shrieked into the microphone. I could see Wart and David running toward the podium. You've got to! Stay away from the free cookies! The laughter rose up until I couldn't hear myself. Get away from that mic, Tasha screamed. She grabbed the microphone from my hands, and 2 teachers rushed up to pull me away. Sicky Ricky, Sicky Ricky. Tasha started to chant, and then the rest of the huge crowd of kids joined in. Sicky Ricky, Sicky Ricky. The gym rang with their chanting and wild laughter. I could feel my heart sink into my stomach. Sicky Ricky, Sicky Ricky. The chanting made me feel as if my head was about to burst. I wanted to cover my ears, and I wanted to run. I wanted to disappear. How can I save them if they're just going to laugh at me? I wondered. What can I do if they refuse to listen to me? And then I had another idea, an even more desperate plan to grab the microphone and beg them. Sicky Ricky, Sicky Ricky. Tasha led the chanting. I tried to ignore the laughing and shouting voices. I knew I only had a few seconds to act. Would my plan work? Probably not. But it was the only thing that my panicked brain could come up with. I'll gobble down all the cookies myself, I decided. I'll grab the trays and eat all the cookies and save everyone in the school. With a wild leap, I pushed past a bunch of chanting kids. I grabbed the trays of cookies from Wart's hands, and I opened my mouth to start swallowing them down. Chapter 30. Ow! I cried out when something smacked me in the forehead. I wasn't hurt, just startled. I reached a hand up and felt something wet and gooey. Someone had thrown a piece of chocolate pie. Kids laughed, and Tasha ran up and flashed my picture. Hey! I cried out angrily. Sicky Ricky, Sicky Ricky, some kids chanted. Sicky Ricky, Ricky Rat, Ricky Rat, I heard others sing. Someone threw a brownie. I ducked and it sailed over my shoulder. I nearly dropped the tray of cookies. Laughing, Tasha snapped another photo. What's wrong with you? I shouted. I'm trying to save you. Sicky Ricky, Sicky Ricky, Ricky Rat, Ricky Rat. Don't they realize what danger they're in? I asked myself. Why are they making fun of me? Why do they always make fun of me? I'm only trying to save them. Sicky Ricky, Sicky Ricky. Someone hit me in the chest with a gooey slice of cheesecake, and I raised the cookie tray. I've got to save them, I told myself. I have to ignore all the teasing and chanting and laughing. I've got to save them all. Wart and Brenda closed in on me. Commander, what are you waiting for? Wart asked. Pass out the cookies. Ignore their chanting, Brenda said. Once they eat the cookies, they will all be creeps. We will be their leader, and they'll all be your slaves. I've got to save them, I repeated to myself. Gotta save them. Got to save them. I turned to Brenda. Huh? What did you say? I said they will be all your slaves, Brenda shouted over the chanting and laughter. My slaves? My slaves? My slaves? I ducked as someone tossed another slice of cheesecake at me. Sicky Ricky, they chanted. Here, Tasha, have a cookie, I cried. I held the tray out to her and watched her take it. Have a cookie, free cookies, I shouted at the top of my lungs. Hands grabbed eagerly for the cookies. I moved quickly, happily around the gym, handing out cookies to every kid. Plenty for everyone, I shouted. That's right, they're free, and they're the best. Free cookies, yeah, that's it, everyone, gobble them up, one for everyone, free cookies. I flashed my 4 friends a thumbs up, and I took a cookie for myself. Not bad, a little chewy, but very sweet. I gazed around my gym, watching everyone chewing up the free cookies. From now on, I told myself, things are going to be very different around here, and I can't wait.